At this time 1 year ago, we were, of course, at this desk telling you about an arrest and a shooting rampage that was happening across our city.
And we felt just like you.
Yeah.
We were angry. We were afraid.
Sick to our stomachs.
It was hours of terror, putting the entire city on a virtual lockdown as a gunman raced across town, shooting, carjacking, and killing randomly. Tonight, a look back at the actions of the brave first responders that night and the victims whose lives were taken.
It was more than just a face. He wasn't just a victim. He was a person striving to help the community at all times.
With the muzzle flash of a gunshot in the early morning hours of September 7th, Dwayne Tunstall was murdered. 4 people told police Ezekiel Kelly pulled the gun and fired.
Confrontation went on, and when the confrontation went on, they heard 4 shots, and everybody left relay.
Police combed the neighborhood looking for Kelly. They didn't find him. They were focused on this crime scene, this homicide, one of more than 250 already on record in Memphis in 2022. What happened here on Lindale Avenue in the early hours of that morning was only the beginning. By the time this day was done, 6 people had been shot, 3 of them were killed, and an entire city lived for hours in terror. Just after 4:30 p.m., 15 hours after Dwayne Tunstall was killed, another shooting. This one at a gas station on South Parkway. Richard Clark was found dead inside his vehicle. Minutes later, and less than a mile south, Willie McLathan told police he watched as Kelly shot and wounded his daughter, whose car had broken down on I-240 at Norris Road. Just over an hour later,
No faking.
Kelly live streams, rambling incoherently. Then,
I'm getting real.
Investigators say what you see and hear is Kelly firing shots into an AutoZone store on Jackson Avenue, hitting and wounding then 63-year-old Rodolfo Berger. That video sends a shockwave through the city of Memphis as it begins to spread on social media, and that prompts the Memphis police to issue a citywide alert, all but locking down the city. Fox 13 breaks into regular programming just before 7:30 p.m.
Whatever you are doing, you need to stop and listen right now. Minutes ago, Memphis police tweeted out an alert saying that everyone needs to be on the lookout for an armed and dangerous suspect. This right here is who police are looking for right now.
And we don't go off the air until after 10:30. Businesses all over East Memphis closed their doors early. MATA halts their bus lines. The Memphis Redbirds paused a baseball game that was already in progress. And here on the University of Memphis campus, they issued their own alert after gunfire was reported on Southern Avenue. At 7:21 p.m., less than a mile away from the University of Memphis, witnesses say Kelly fired several shots at cars passing by Poplar and McLean. 2 more people were hit and wounded. And only 4 minutes after that, Kelly is accused of carjacking, then shooting and killing Allison Parker, who was waiting at the stoplight at Poplar and Evergreen. Police officers by now are racing all over the city, frantically searching for Ezekiel Kelly. Then they get word that another person has been carjacked.
He is armed. He is obviously dangerous. If you have seen him, if you know of the vehicle, it is a gray SUV. It is drive-out tags, and we know the back window has been shot out. If you know where this guy is, immediately you need to call police.
South Haven police, who've been on alert since this all began, spot who they believe is Kelly driving the stolen vehicle. Officers say he turns around not long after crossing the state line and heads back to Memphis. Memphis officers meet him, and just after 9:15, the chase ends with the stolen car stopped in a field.
We have that suspect now in custody, that 19-year-old shooter who police say was shooting at random locations across Memphis. Again, look at this. We have dozens, too many to count, law enforcement officers all across this road.
They arrest Kelly without a fight. The nightmare was over. The lockdown was lifted. But 3 families who began that day like any other were left planning funerals instead of building for their future. Richard Clark, Allison Parker, and Dwayne Tunstall are all gone. And right now, that accused shooter Ezekiel Kelly is still sitting in the Shelby County Jail on no bond. He's pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder charges, along with 28 other charges. Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy announced that he will seek the death penalty in this case, despite the fact that Mulroy opposes capital punishment.
If this case isn't death notice worthy, then no case is.
He's due back in court next week. Kelly is, the man you see there. Fox 13 will continue to follow this case until the very end, and we will let you know what happens all along the way.